Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Epiphany Tuesday Concert Series. My name is Jin-Sun Cho. I'm the Director of Music at the Church of Epiphany in Washington, D.C. On behalf of Reverend Glenna Hubert, our staffs, and Epiphany family, I am very excited to announce that our Tuesday concerts are returning virtually. So now you can enjoy wonderful music every Tuesday, anywhere you are during this pandemic. For more information about our concert program, please visit our website at epiphanydc.org. And please don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your continuous support and for being with us today. Now, please welcome the U.S. Army String Quartet.
Thank you very much for joining us today. The first piece was called Skylife, made famous by the Turtle Island String Quartet, composed by one of its members, David Balakrishna. You could hear that's maybe a little unexpected for string quartet. It had lots of rock, jazz, and blues influences, and we got to use our instruments in new ways that we're not used to. You could hear Sergei playing a lot of chopping technique, which we use for this kind of music. The next piece is decidedly very string quartet by Haydn, the guy who invented the string quartet, essentially, at least as we know it. This is the first movement of the quartet nicknamed The Bird, and you'll hear Jordan playing some sounds throughout that sound rather bird-like, and it's a very fun piece. We'll be back to the second movement of Haydn in a second, where it's a movement in 3, and the birds maybe make a little bit of return in the fast section in that movement, in that 3/4 movement. The next piece we're going to play is by a composer named Rhiannon Giddens. She's a singer, multi-instrumentalist. Most recently, it was announced she's going to be taking over as artistic director of the Silk Road Ensemble, which Yo-Yo Ma founded and has artistic directed for many years. The piece we're playing today is called At the Purchaser's Option. And Rhiannon Giddens, the composer, was reading a book and she saw a 19th century advertisement for a 22-year-old female slave who had a 9-month-old baby. The ad stated it was at the purchaser's option if the 9-month-old was included in the sale. You can imagine this inspired her to explore the consequences of that, and she wrote this very moving song that we really enjoy playing. This is called At the Purchaser's Option.
introduce everybody here today. On violin, we have Staff Sergeant Jordan Pendy and Staff Sergeant Sergei Prokofiev. And on cello, you've already heard from is Staff Sergeant Aaron Ludwig, and I am Master Sergeant Holly Waters. And like she said in our introduction, we are the U.S. Army String Quartet. We are part of a larger ensemble called the United States Army Strings, and that's a group of 21 people, which is part of the greater United States Army Band that's located in Fort Myer, Virginia. So our primary duty is to play functions here in the Washington, D.C. area, mostly military and government functions at the highest level. And moving on to introduce our next two pieces. The next song we'll be doing is called Quarter Chicken Dark, and it is from an album called Go Rodeo. That album was done by 4 musicians: Stuart Duncan on fiddle, Chris Thiel on mandolin, Yo-Yo Ma on cello, and Edgar Meyer on bass. So a really interesting combination of instruments. And the reason they call it Go Rodeo, I read, is it's an aviation term, and it's meant to mean that 100 things have to go right in order to make this thing happen. So these musicians came together, and it took everything going right to pull them together to be able to record this album. And they wrote all of the songs on it. So Quarter Chicken Dark is this really cool fiddle song, and our own Staff Sergeant Sergei Prokofiev did the arrangement of this piece. So he adapted the instruments that it was originally written for string quartet. So I think you'll really enjoy the adaptation of that. And then following that piece, we'll be doing a song called Gabriel's Oboe. That's written by Ennio Morricone. He's a film composer who's very famous, and Gabriel's Oboe was written for a movie called The Mission that had Bruce Willis and Jeremy Irons and Liam Neeson in it. It's a beautiful melody, and the reason we're playing it today is because the composer passed away a few months ago. We thought it would be a nice tribute to him to do this. It's also a really popular song nowadays for weddings, so it might sound familiar to our audience members out there. So we hope you enjoy our next 2 songs. Before we move on to our last selection for the day, I want to take a quick opportunity to thank doing it for many years, and this is the first time it's virtual, but we are happy to be here and part of that. As well, I would like to thank Colonel Andrew Esch from the Army Band for allowing us to play here. And also, for those people who are tuning in, I'd like to invite you to visit the United States Army Band webpage. It's usarmyband.com, and to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe, as well as Facebook and Instagram. You can find us on all of those platforms. And finally, to finish up, you've heard throughout we've done movements of the Haydn Bird Quartet, and we'll be playing the finale from that quartet. And you look for lots of bird sounds. This is especially close to my heart right now because my 12-year-old son is really, really into birds, and we hear all kinds of videos at home of birds all the time, all different bird sounds. So when I listen to this piece, I hear all of those bird sounds coming out. So this one speaks to me as the cuckoo, but you can listen to it and decide what kind of bird that is to you. But this is our finale, which is the Presto from the Haydn Bird Quartet. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and hope you come back next week for the Tuesday concert.